they had a random Asian dude slapping himself in the shower for you. Oh, that is dedication.
Isn't it just great?
That is dedication.
I'm like, Cal, we gifted him 10 subs and got him to do this. I was like, why? Why?
Because that's what he wanted to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tangent Tavern. I'm Josh.
I am Callum, and I'm not even on the right scene for this.
That's okay. You take your time, Cal. You take your time. Your Discord hurts
me. I was too busy trying to get the naked Asian guy off my screen.
Hey, whatever floats your boat. However you want to live, you know.
Yeah, where is my podcast? Where are we?
So you've recreated Earth 2 in Discord.
I have. Yes, I have. I have recreated Earth 2 in Discord.
That's a bit. I mean, that's stupid. Not what you've done is stupid, but the fact that it's doable.
Yeah, and I gave you an early preview of this.
Yeah. I remember seeing it. I was saying it was incredible. Yeah. It works because I thought it was just random. I thought it was just pulling random tiles from random maps, but when I pulled the same number as you, it pulled up exactly the same tile, and it's consistent and stable.
Yeah, because it runs off a database just like that.
That's okay. So I think we're definitely going to have to dive into what the frick is going on with this, because it's a
mess.
This is a mess. This is a cult. I think it's starting to fall apart. Have you seen that Simpsons episode where it's Homer gets involved in a cult and it's a dude with a UFO in a barn, and the UFO takes off and it flies, and then as it flies, bits start to fall off the UFO, and you see that it's just a dude on a bike pedaling really fast with like a helicopter blade and bags of money.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Yeah, that's what it is. So what happens is right now the UFO is kind of taken off and is moving, and everyone's looking at it, pointing, going, "That's what it is." And now, unfortunately, I think the bits are starting to fall off because they've lost a lot of important people. They've lost the developers who could actually, develop this.
It's like, have you seen that GIF of the child walking around with the egg basket, picking up Easter eggs, putting them in, but every time they bend over, 3 fall out?
Yep.
That's exactly what Earth 2 is right now.
It's crazy. I love the fact that people are saying, without a roadmap, that means we can do whatever we want. Have you ever worked, I'm sure you have, Cal, people in the chat, have you ever worked in a group of people and you have a group project and you don't have a set roadmap of what's going to happen?
Yep.
Nothing happens. It's
or three
mess.
of you are working on the same thing with completely different visions of what it is. And that is exactly Earth 2 right now.
Yeah.
Because I said this to them. I was like, let's look at it like this. Nightmare World started off, no roadmap. We were just throwing ideas at the wall, and then very quickly realised this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Let's have an internal roadmap.
That's why you need
one.
What they call compartmentalization. Different people have different jobs and do different things. I've made a lot of short films, short TV clips, done a lot of short theatre things. If I ever turn up on a film set and I ask the director what's going on, and he says, "Don't worry, it's all in here," that's when I panic.
Turn and run.
Because
turn and run.
I know that the cameraman doesn't know what he's doing, the sound guy doesn't know what he's doing, they're all waiting for the director to say what he needs to do, and the director will change his mind on a whim, and you'll take 5 hours to do something that should take 30 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's the same in every industry, every kind of team building thing. You can't do that.
You can't just wing it. It's like if you turn up to a fast food restaurant and you've got 10 people to staff the place, and instead of giving people actually assigned jobs, you just say, okay, we've got all these jobs to do, go, and just wait for the team to sort themselves out. That's why good leaders are worth their weight in gold. If you can find someone who actually organises things and says what to do. And it seems like Shane hasn't organised this project to actually get off the ground.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. He's not planned anything. He doesn't even know what he's doing. That clip from the Earth Enter the Metaverse, someone streamed it to me, and I was
sad.
I was cringing so bad.
That was sad. So this Enter the Metaverse, good evening, by the way, everyone in the chat. Hopefully you're all having a lovely day. So this Enter the Metaverse event, what was that all about? Because everyone and their dog is making a metaverse.
Yeah, so it was just a load of people that are claiming to be making the metaverse, and you've got projects like Sandbox. Have you seen that?
That's I've heard of it. Yeah.
By all accounts, that is an actual metaverse project. They're doing something. There is something playable. I mean, Snoop Dogg hosted a festival in there.
Okay, because things have done. People have done stuff before.
You can physically call that a game. They were there, I think. They had a panel, and they were talking about all the upcoming exciting partnerships and with proof of them.
All right.
And then you've got Shane just sat there, just flicking a penny round on the desk, going, "Well, we've got things, and they are coming."
What they have is an idea.
Yeah, And here's the thing: people were expecting them to be able to give some insight into what's coming because they can't tell the community, so they didn't. They just told their community. They told them the same things that they told the community, and I'm really not sure what they're actually trying to achieve, and I don't think they know.
I honestly think by now that you've got a couple of different types of Earth 2 supporters, and the most dangerous type are the type that have already invested money into this project, who are pushing the facts to the back of their mind that this might be a scam, and so they're trying to ignore that. And they're trying to convince other people that it's good. Because if they convince other people it's good, they might get their money back. What the hell was this about stopping trade between players?
You can't sell anything to other players now. So, despite the fact... So, you've seen that my land has been tripled in value?
Yeah, which means you should be able...
Can't sell it, though.
You can't sell it to the game, because the game doesn't buy it back from you, does it?
The game doesn't buy it back. I have to sell it to another player, but I can't. They've physically locked trade.
Right. And do they know when trade is going to return, have they said?
I think they did say the 15th, if I remember correctly, but...
Right. Yeah, this is the
doesn't
cult...
mean anything.
This is the cult of sunk cost. That's what it is. It's the cult of sunk cost fallacy by now. Yes. Have you ever noticed that whenever people are making metaverses, gameplay always seems to be like second or third on the list, down from money-making opportunity?
Yeah, the first stage is always, let's make a load of money.
Yeah.
Because we have to say that, the metaverse is going to be expensive.
Yeah.
We need to do... It's not really going to be expensive. Because the metaverse is kind of created by everybody involved.
Yeah.
You just need to make an API for it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make some sort of interaction through that API.
Yeah.
And the rest just naturally comes.
It's a speculation bubble. That's all it is right now.
Yeah, but they've not done any of that.
No.
And then it's, but the API will be coming later. That's not how that works. That's like saying I'm going to paint your, I'm going to wrap my new car before it even arrives. How are you going to do that?
It really does seem like, I'm going to be honest, it's almost a joke. It's a punchline that's been told too much right now. It is a complete joke. If anyone in the chat has money invested in Earth 2, why? To be honest, just why? Did you expect that it was going to appreciate in value? Oh, quick note as well. For anyone, I haven't put a video out for the last week and a half. And the reason for this is I am taking December in a much more chilled route. There is a lot of alcohol in this glass right now. So this whole podcast is going to get a little bit crazy toward the end. I'm sure of that. Cal's probably got the same going on.
Well, no, I've got a Red Bull to help me get through this. I've been, I'm a little bit sourced, I'm not going to lie.
I see. Well, see, what's happened is I've been working 7 days a week, about 10 hours a day, for the last 12 months to get as many videos as I can out.
You've been working your ass off.
Oh man, it's been an intense production. And in January, you know what? I'm going to kick back into that. In January, we're going to get back to just ridiculous amounts of videos coming out every week, and the second channel doing retro recaps. But I thought for December, no. I'm going to see some friends. I'm going to see some family. I'm going to wake up late. I'm going to drink all day. Yeah, I've actually been working on a video today. It's ended up being 48 minutes long. I've got the audio recorded. I'll be editing it tomorrow, probably getting it out on Saturday. It's called New World, a timeline of a failure. My God.
That's so weird that you've picked that title. So I've got a list of videos that I'm going to be making because I'm going to try and stockpile ready for the last week of December because I'm also taking that off and I want videos ready for then. And I was planning on possibly making the same video about Dreamworld with the exact same title. Like, I've got it in my notepad.
Do it. Make it a thing. Yeah, do it. Dreamworld, timeline of a scam, whatever you want to call it. But what I did was I went onto the New World subreddit. I sorted by most upvoted, and I scrolled back for the last year of every single post. And then I went to YouTube and I sorted by the most popular New World videos for the last 6 months. And then I found almost every single news article on the entire game, from inception to alpha to beta to where it is now. And I've got a 48-minute recap video of every single major event, every major bug, every major news outlet, every major report, day by day, of what happened. It's going to be ridiculously in-depth. Have you heard of the latest thing that happened in New World yesterday?
Oh, no. What now?
They banned someone for having fart in their name.
What?
There was a player called Stinky Fart, and he got banned. And when he asked the customer service representative why he got banned, their reason was, your name is morally reprehensible. And then
I will say this, I've seen so much worse.
Yeah, well, he hilariously he clarified with the customer service rep. He said, "Is poop okay?" And they said, "Yeah, that's fine." So like, I can call myself Poopy Player, but I can't call myself Stinky Fart. And they were like, "That is exactly what we mean." And this just throws a bit more credence behind the theory that maybe not all the customer service representatives are native English speakers, because a lot of them don't actually understand why they are enforcing the rules they are enforcing. They are just following a list of stuff. What happened before that? Oh, yeah, they've made crafting pointless.
Oh dear, how?
When you hit level 60 in New World... Oh, if you're new to the stream, by the way, what we do is we talk about stuff, mainly games, but then go off on tangents. So don't expect any kind of narrative through line to this.
No.
You know when you hit level 60 in New World, you stop gaining levels, but you start gaining what they call watermarks, or high watermarks.
I watched Adamant Gold explaining the watermark system, yeah.
And the best way to gain watermarks is to do endgame dungeons, just again and again and again and again and again. Well, imagine you crafted a 600 gear score item, like an axe. 600 gear score right now is the top, the stuff you can do. Goodness me, well wish, thank you very much for all the subs, that's remarkably kind of you. Imagine you crafted
I need to catch up on those. I've just had a bomb of them go off in my
chat.
Thank you as well, guys. Also, thank you, Andreas, for the donation. Very much appreciated.
So you craft your axe. You craft your 600 gear score axe. When you equip that, it scales down to your watermark level.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So if you're a fresh level 60 with no watermark grinding yet, and you buy a 600 gear score axe, when you equip it, you've now got a 520 gear score axe. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you buy a level 600 item and you equip it, you've actually devalued the item.
Yeah.
If you are a crafter, a pure crafter who doesn't do grinding, and you make yourself 600 gear score items, when you equip them, they go down. If you buy an item off the auction house that is a 600 gear score item and you haven't got high watermark level yet, when you equip it, it goes down. Which means you can't even trust the stats you see items have anymore. The only people that are going to be able to take advantage of this scaling are people who are already maxed watermark. And the irony is, these people get to maxed watermark by grinding dungeons, and dungeons give item drops as rewards.
So you need them.
So you've already got them. It's like, you don't need to craft endgame stuff if you've grinded enough to get the watermark level to use the endgame stuff, which means you've got the endgame stuff as drops. Crafting is basically worthless. You check out the New World subreddit right now. It is full of people saying, I've been crafting the entire time. I feel deflated. I feel beaten. I'm done.
Which you should. Like, everything that you've worked towards has just been taken away from you.
Yeah, crafters have been absolutely shafted with this. Just completely... It is ridiculous.
Who was it? Did WoW do something very similar, and they reversed that almost like the next day?
Probably. Scaling doesn't work very well if you want to have static items with static things. That's the dumb thing. How is this game this bad? Has anyone in the development studio actually played games? It really does feel to me like people that are making New World don't quite know. I still don't think they know what they want the game to be. Like, is it... Because originally it started as a PvP game, and then they switched it to PvE based on feedback, and then they changed it to this and changed it to that. What is New World? Like, who is it for? Who's it appealing to?
I don't think they know that.
No, they don't.
I really don't think they know that. Because, like you say, have they played games? It feels like they've either just decided to roll a d20 and go, yep, that's what we're doing next, with no, like, thought of the consequences of doing that. Or they've just hired all the cube crawlers from Blizzard. Like, I'm really not sure which one they've done. Probably both, to be honest.
Oh, it's they increased the experience cap and didn't level people down. I don't know if you saw that as well with patch 1.1.
Yes, I did. So there were people both at max... No, sorry, both at one below the max level that had different XP totals.
Yeah.
Like, that is a disaster that will unfold later.
Oh, God, yeah.
That won't affect them now. But when they do something else that's retroactive, it will break.
I feel that what's happened is they've used metrics wrong. So metrics and numbers and analytics are extremely important for a business or for a successful franchise or venture, but you need to understand that the numbers and the metrics are a tool to use. They aren't a set guide that you need to follow. So if you do a poll of people and you say, hey, what should we do, PvE or PvP? And you put that poll in a PvP-focused community, it's obviously going to come back as PvP. You've got the demographic you're aiming at want that. I feel that what's happened is Amazon have spent so long gathering so much data, and then all they've done is followed the data without understanding what the data actually means.
Absolutely. Because they can show their data in all their posts, in the community posts, but it doesn't mean anything unless you use it meaningfully.
You ask 100 people, do they want a hardcore MMORPG experience or a casual MMORPG experience? A lot of people will say hardcore, because the only people who actually care to answer questions about MMORPGs are hardcore players. But the vast majority of your player base will be casual. They just don't care about answering the questionnaire.
Yeah. No, it's spot on.
It's very, very... It's like, if you were to, go to a club and interview 100 people about their opinions of clubs, you're probably going to get a pretty positive vibe, because that's the people that you're interviewing. But you're ignoring the hundreds of thousands of people who aren't there currently. Someone said, do I feel that way about RuneScape polls? Yeah, because the majority of a RuneScape player base don't vote in the poll.
It's a bit odd. It's like... I learned this cool story the other week, and I think this perfectly ties into this with data. So there was a guy in World War II who was a engineer for planes. So the planes would go off to, you know where I'm going.
I know the story, man. Tell it.
Germany and come back. And this guy's job was to help better understand how to have more planes return, because half of them weren't returning, right? They were getting shot down over Germany. So what they did is he got a graph of where all the bullet holes in these planes that came back were on the wings, and he was like, okay, so near the tips of the wings there's tons of bullet holes, we need to fortify those areas. But what he should have been looking at is okay, you want to be fortifying everywhere else, because those are where the planes that aren't coming back are getting shot.
It's the survival bias.
You want to flip the data. You want to look at the ones that aren't returning back to England.
So you see the plane and you see that the tips of the wings have loads of bullet holes. And you think, oh, we've got to reinforce the tips of the wings. And then you look at the data and you think, hang on, the engines have almost no bullet holes on them at all. So clearly, planes being shot in the engine's absolutely fine. But what the data actually showed was if a plane got shot in the engine, it was unlikely to return. So the planes that returned were giving them actually the data of where a plane can be shot and still actually be okay.
And that goes hand in hand with players. You want the data on the players that aren't returning, not the players you already have, because you've already got those. But they seem to just not care about that.
And that's what it is. Gathering data is absolutely fine. Gathering data is essential, but then using the data in the correct way matters. And I feel that Amazon, when they're developing New World, they are using the data in the way of they're not even thinking it through emotionally. It's purely a robotic decision of where to put it. It's very, very silly. And of course, you get the answer of, well, I'm having fun.
Correlation does not equal causation, and I don't think they've realised that in the slightest.
And no one is saying you're not having fun.
Despite it being in front of them, it's right in front of them. Like me, you, and Kira, everyone else, we're telling them what's wrong with their game, but we're not in their game anymore, so they don't care about our opinions.
You know something crazy? When I was going through collecting all of the data and all the research for this, every single YouTuber said the same. The game visually looks good, audio it sounds fantastic, it's lacking in endgame content, it's glitchy with combat, it feels shallow. You said that, I said that, Kira said that, Big Fry TV said that, Asmongold said that. Everyone said, good foundation, not yet finished. And I think that Amazon games were kind of okay with that, because they've moved on to Lost Ark.
I almost feel that they've kind of pulled the rug over it now, and they're just like, it did what it did, it is what it is.
100,000 people are still playing New World, and you know what? That's a really good number. But
yeah, absolutely.
1 million people played it on day one, which means your retention rate is 10%. That's dire.
Again, their data, they're saying, oh, we've got 100,000, which is great, but you had 1 million.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't realise that it's very easy to get someone to try your game. It's very, very easy to have someone try it, especially because it's a buy once, play forever game. That was its main strength. And then if 1 million people try your game and only 100,000 stick around to play, you're actually saying that what you advertised is only actually appealing to 10% worth of players. That's really bad.
Yeah,
that's really low.
You shouldn't be proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, a 20% retention rate is acceptable. 30 or 40 is okay. 50 is good. But you look at Final Fantasy XIV. It sucked at the start. They blew it up. They rebuilt it. Retention rate's now really high. You know that they gave everyone 7 days free membership to apologise for the login issues.
Yes, I did hear that. A friend was telling me about that.
Yeah, which I appreciate. I really appreciate that.
No, that's a really good thing to do. It's like, the whole player trust thing.
Yeah.
You need to show willing to fix your issues.
Oh, God, talking about player trust. Do you know the one thing that Amazon did that was probably going to result in a lot of player trust was the public test realm. Did you see when they released the public test realm?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the big problem with the public test realm?
It was live.
Worse. Kind of.
Oh, no.
It wasn't accurate. So basically what happened was Amazon didn't have a public test realm for New World for a long time. When you update an MMORPG, normally you put the update onto the test realm, see if it breaks anything, and if it's fine, you send it over to live. They were just updating live for ages. And then they had, hey, public test realm. So what they did was they put patch 1.1 on the public test realm for people to check, for people to beta test, and for people to try and break. And everyone said, yeah, this is fine. And then patch 1.1 went live with so much more stuff that they didn't put on the test realm. So what was the point of the test realm?
You've invalidated all your testing.
Yeah. They basically said,
Even if you make a tiny change at the end, you have to test it.
Yeah. They basically said to everyone, hey, does this work? And everyone went, yeah, that's pretty work. And then they put it on live and people were like, hey, the increased experience, that's not what we expected. The increased damage to this, the changing to this, the change to that, that wasn't on the test realm. And they were like, yeah, that's just what we decided to do. So I don't even know why they have a test realm. That's just dumb. It's
actually made them look more stupid than not having a test realm. Because now their mistakes aren't excusable.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty stupid, to be honest. So yeah, over the last week, I have been waking up, being a lord of leisure, walking around, slowly milling, working out what I'm going to do for my next retro game, and just tidying the house. We've got so much tidy, man. We've taken so much stuff to the charity shop. We've hoovered, we've washed up, we've put a lot of stuff up in the loft. The house is looking good. I'm feeling happy with it. What have you been up to, man?
I've been doing the opposite. I've been breaking the house. I sat on a toilet seat to take my socks off and fell through it. That's great. Brand new one as well, by the way. And then just this is just fate loves irony, right?
Yep.
So then I was going in the loft because I thought, okay, I think we've got another toilet seat up there that's just in a box for some reason from when we, moved in.
Yeah.
And I pulled the loft door off completely. It just fell on me.
Are you just having like a bit of a thing with hinged things? You saw
anything with a hinge is broken.
You saw the toilet seat, you ripped it off.
That door catch now, the door on a hinge won't catch. I don't know what's happened.
Cal, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the shittest X-Man power I've ever heard.
Breaker of hinges.
Hinge man. Just if anything is hinged, you can just destroy it in one go.
Well, I mean, it's going to be impossible to break Shane then because he's completely unhinged.
Oh, I like it. I like the joke. Oh, God. Shane. You know when you saw Aria Realty comment in your stream saying, Shane, we love you, I can't tell if he's doing it ironically or if he genuinely is that enfranchised.
He just loves hanging around with me. He promised me a Tesla if Earth 2 takes off, so I'm in two minds now on whether I want it to work or not.
I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any kind of loss to you there. You may as well take
exactly.
it. You win either way.
It falls on its face, I was right, or it's successful and I get a free Tesla.
Exactly. That would work well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad to hear you've been breaking your house slowly. I need to spend more time. I've decided that for the rest of December, I'm still going to make videos much more slower, and I'm going to go and visit some friends and family in and around Nottingham, London, Birmingham, just travel around for like the next 2 or 3 weeks and just see some people and go shopping and meet up. I did my Christmas shopping because I'm very lazy with Christmas shopping. Everyone is getting Baileys. Okay.
That's not a bad gift,
Yeah,
that's not a bad gift.
I say Baileys. It's like the cheaper version of it. But
Aldi's Baileys.
No. It was actually Marks and Spencer's Baileys, but it was cheaper than Baileys.
Really?
I know, they had a sale
on. Shocker.
Yeah, I walked in, and it was on sale. I walked in, and there were like the bottles of, not Baileys, but Baileys. Baileys is creamy whiskey for anyone who's... It's nice. And we had this list, me and my partner, had this huge list of all the people we had to buy for, and all the things they liked, and all the stuff they wanted. And I just thought, right, let's just buy like 15 bottles of Baileys and just give them out one to everyone. So when we got to the checkout, the checkout lady was just looking at me, and I was just putting endless bottles of Baileys on. I think she thought it was a joke, but no, we bought all of them, and then head off. And now, unfortunately, we bought too many, so I'm drinking through a few of them.
That's a shame, isn't it, when that happens? Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, do it. It's easier.
It's Daniels, though.
It's far. Yeah. Oh, the honey stuff. Honey stuff is lovely.
The honey stuff with lemonade. Oh my god.
Man. Yeah.
I was on that earlier. It's great.
But no, it's definitely just an easier thing to do as far as Christmas goes, but I'm going to be travelling around. So, you've been breaking stuff. What about digital stuff? Because you normally break programs and software and stuff, Cal. What's been happening?
Honestly, I've not broke much in that sense. I've mostly fixed Earth 2.
Yes.
That's about it.
Can we talk about the Discord thing, or do you want to save that for another
we can talk
thing?
about it, yeah. I'll make a video on it, but yes, we'll definitely talk about that.
Earth 2's whole thing was that it was going to be a big The Oasis-style VR, and that hasn't happened yet. What they have is a map that you can buy bits on and then sell bits, and they've got mentars and jewels that increase stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what right now are the differences between what you've been able to recreate on Discord and what people can do actively in the live game of Earth 2?
Well, you can't put money into ours, but that's by design. We've got resources and...
Oh, God, yeah, hang on. Let's just talk about resources straight away, because you nailed this. I was laughing so much. So, every single tile, and stop me if I'm too excited about this, man, but when you showed it me, I couldn't believe it. Every single tile in Earth 2 generates resources. And you've got, like, sand, fresh water, coal, gold, like an overly complicated Age of Empires style game.
Yeah.
But the resources that the tiles generate are not actually in any way related to what the tile in real world could generate.
No, they're not. So you've got ocean tiles that say they generate like wood in Earth 2, and just complete deserts that say they generate water.
And you've got
when there's no water.
You could buy a gold mine on Earth 2, you know, like that part of the map that is an actual gold mine, and generate a tiny amount of gold, or you could buy somewhere in the middle of the French countryside and your gold generation is off the charts. So the resources that you generate based on each individual tile are not actually in any way related to what could feasibly generated by that
completely
tile.
Random in Earth 2.
Cool. But in your game, you've done something a little bit different, haven't you?
Yeah, so we took the... we display the actual satellite image, but we take the street view image, the kind of like compressed colour version that you'd see on Google Maps normally.
Yeah.
And we go through it pixel by pixel to see if there's water there, to see if there's a river there for fresh water.
Okay.
You know, mountains for stone. So we actually go through it pixel by pixel to generate the data for it.
And you do like colour recognition to what that could be.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
I checked this, and because I thought, this is too good to be true, but I checked it and it's right. So we brought up a tile of the ocean, and because it's majority blue, it was all water. And then we brought up a tile of a forest, and because it's majority green, it was a mix of kind of wood with some water and a small amount of coal. And then we brought up the mountain, which was mostly just rock and stone.
Yeah.
And then there was one small issue, wasn't there, that you managed to fix?
Yes. So in the bottom corner, it's got the Mapbox logo over it, which for some reason counts as wood. So in every tile, there was like a small amount of wood.
Because it was still scanning the pixels on the Mapbox logo itself.
Exactly. Right. But we've now got it so that the one that it scans just ignores those pixels in the corner.
Okay, cool. So you've not only managed to recreate the... You know when they've got the Mapbox map of Earth? Mm-hmm. That grid, the tiled grid, is that something that Earth 2 added themselves?
No, it's literally... It's on Mapbox.
Right, so the actual division of the map into squares, that was already done.
I will put this in a really, really simple way for people to understand.
Yeah.
Earth 2 is a reskinned Mapbox. There is nothing custom. We did it in 48 hours, and that was on and off while I was doing other stuff. 3 of us.
I think... Why didn't we do this?
I don't know.
We could run a cult.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am now.
You know what? I'm going to get slightly more drunk through this stream, and I want everyone in chat right now. We're going to brainstorm cult ideas, because I am tired of waking up every week and putting out 2 or 3 YouTube videos when I could just be selling you absolute bollocks. You know? That's what we're doing instead. Right.
What could we sell?
What could we sell? Is there a way that we could sell someone a long, random string of digits that's connected to a picture? Probably like a monkey. or a
No,
lion.
I doubt it.
No one would buy that. No one's that
No.
frickin' dumb. Okay, we won't do that. Mugs.
Yeah,
we can sell mugs. We can definitely sell Cult of Your Dog. We can definitely sell mugs. We don't do monkeys, do penguins. Mod Ash's face. He's too good. He's too good for us. Cal, I haven't logged on to the RuneScape group Iron Man in weeks because I've been exceptionally busy getting slightly day drunk. How's it going? Are those guys doing okay without us?
They're doing great from when I last checked in. I've also been really busy because I'm making a review soon on Halo Infinite multiplayer 100 hours in.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. People are not very happy with it though, are they, with the monetization?
Yeah,
Didn't we discuss this last time about the fact that multiplayer games used to be about just playing of the game, and now it's about the progression. What's negative about Halo Infinite's multiplayer?
The combat is fantastic. The gunplay is the best I've ever seen.
Gameplay's top notch.
Any game. It's just endless sandbox fun, and it's truly like a sandbox shooter, as you know, compared to the others that claim to be sandbox shooters.
Oh, gotcha.
There's massive issues with buying things. So my friend Zach didn't get the battle pass, and I did. We've played it consistently together since I bought it.
Okay.
He's got one set of armor where he can change his helmet to a variant of the helmet he already has, and it now has a torch on the side.
Of course.
I've got about 30-something different pieces of armor that I can equip and make my character look the way I want.
Do you believe that's from you playing the game more, or is it mostly from the battle pass?
It is entirely from the battle pass.
Oh,
He's played pretty much every game with me.
Right, so it is definitely hugely skewed in favour of that.
Yes.
They're missing a couple of game modes, and they're missing free-for-all still.
They are, but I was led to believe that they had certain game modes on rotation throughout the beta.
Oh, okay.
So they could force testing of that. Gotcha. That's why you can't select, I don't want to play this game mode in the queue.
Right, gotcha.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be bringing that out soon and sorting all that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's not something they really need to test if they've got multiplayer working in general. Because all it is just a separate scoring thing.
Yeah, that's fair. So what's happening in the MMORPG world? Because I've been focusing on New World, and I've been doing my Pokemon review, and I'll tell you what, Pokemon fans, they're pretty passionate about their games.
Yes,
they are. I made a couple of mistakes in the video. A couple of them were legitimate, actual, genuine mistakes. A couple of them, I'm going to share with you a secret right now. Everyone on Twitch, okay? I actually put mistakes in the video on purpose because I know that people will call me out on it. If you put little tiny, nothing major, like never get anything major wrong, but if you put tiny mistakes in the video, people love feeling smart. Anyone notice how in the Neverwinter video I kept comparing it to 5th edition D&D, despite the fact Neverwinter is based on 4th edition D&D?
Yep.
And then how many comments there are about, Josh, this isn't 5th edition, this is 4th edition. Yeah, I know. I've got the 5th edition books up there.
And you now have more comments for the algorithm god?
Yeah, you do it. You put that in, loads of people start to comment. So a couple of them in the Pokemon video were legitimate mistakes. And a couple of them were kind of like, I put that in on purpose. But what I'm going to do to appear really smart is just play all of them off as on-purpose mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
That's the plan, see? No one can point to a mistake and say that was definitely a mistake. And I'll just say, nope, that was deliberate to get you to comment. See?
Exactly.
Just play it all off as I meant to. That's also why in the video Anomaly Zone, I never compared the game to Stalker. I kept repeatedly comparing it to Fallout, despite the fact it's much similar to Stalker. Because I thought, if I don't mention Stalker at all, the comments will be filled with people calling me out on Stalker. So what the hell's been going on in the MMORPG world? Because I've not been keeping up with Warcraft much. I've not been keeping up with Guild Wars 2, although that was fun when I logged back on for a bit. What's happening, Cal?
From what I've heard in Warcraft, nothing. It's just nothing going on.
It seems quiet, doesn't it?
And I reckon that's all because of the Bobby Kotick stuff that's just gone absolutely like nuclear the last week.
I didn't even know he was on the board of directors for Coca-Cola.
Yes, I saw that as well. I didn't either.
How much money does one man need?
People are throwing him away left, right, and centre, which is good because it needs to happen because he is a despicable human.
Yeah, like what what skills do you have that put you on the board for Blizzard and the board for Coca-Cola? What? I don't understand why one person is that important. Like, surely you'd be really good at knowing one thing. But probably because he's a multi-billionaire. That's what connections. That's what it is. It's just connections. It is literally just connections. That is all it is. The skill is being rich. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker came out, though, and apparently that's done really well.
Yes, I've heard a lot of my friends playing that. Apparently it's very good. Haven't played it myself.
No, hopefully well. I mean,
but only heard good things.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of time to play games.
No, we don't.
It's a shame. But you're based in and around Birmingham, aren't you, I think? Or you can get to Birmingham somewhat close.
I'm close enough to Birmingham.
When I pop over to Birmingham, I will let you know. We will go Christmas shopping. I will treat you to a Costa coffee. We'll have... They do these pigs in blankets paninis. You got sausage, bacon, you got cranberry sauce. It's beautiful. It's lovely stuff.
They are. They're amazing. I had one the other week, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was that with the cranberry, and yeah, it was so good. So good.
What?
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
What high street shop does the best Christmas food? Because one of our Christmas traditions is going to buy a Greg's Festive Bake. You know, they're only out for like a month. And for anyone in the chat, the Greg's Festive Bake, you know, it's got other names, like the Christmas Slice, you know, the festive, you know, the Jesus
I know it is
pastry,
the Christmas Slice.
The Christmas Slice. You walk in, you ask for a Christmas Slice. The Greg's Christmas Bake, amazing. Everyone in the chat, what is the greatest Christmas-themed food?
I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to think what it's called, because I used to love this. So it was where I used to work, a restaurant called Leon.
Okay.
They, mostly in London, so people from London will know what I'm on about.
Gotcha.
Probably not anywhere else in the world. But they had a pigs in blankets wrap.
Yep.
And it had like stuffing, turkey, but it was like fresh made. So good.
Man. People in the chat saying, Lana's got there with onion and sage stuffing. Absolutely. Onion and sage stuffing, amazing. Okay? But I still like the cheap stuff that comes in powdered form that you just mix with boiling water and then leave for like 10 minutes and then eat with a spoon out of the mixing jar, because that's the best way to do it. People are saying gingerbread, eggs, any of those. I'll tell you what, one of the towns that I used to live in many, many years ago, I lived in Stoke-on-Trent. And Stoke-on-Trent has the saddest Christmas market you'll ever see. It's one stall, okay? Because we have a thing in the UK where every major town gets a Christmas market, and it's just like crap wooden stalls that get built up to look like a German Christmas market, a German town. And they have one stall, and they were just selling German sausages, you know, in those hot dogs. And
it was just a big sad sausage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was like that time in New World when we could just spam HTML sausages. Yeah. That's what it looked like.
Have you been to the Birmingham Christmas market?
A couple of years ago, yeah. I remember it being quite big. It's spread around over lots of different places.
Yeah, it's all throughout like the centre of Birmingham. I went about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Had an amazing time.
Yeah.
It was great. There weren't many people there because we went on a Wednesday. So we were just queuing up for Nutella pancakes.
Oh, yeah, man. That's
all the good stuff.
That's
all the good stuff.
That's the plan.
Steins of beer that you can just walk around Birmingham with. It was great.
What is that? Why is it at Christmas we go, you know what, we're just going to eat sugar and let alcohol flow free in the streets, and everyone's having a great time, and then that gets taken away and everyone's just really sad. Just leave it there. I mean, I love mulled wine. Mulled wine should happen more. It's gorgeous. You're looking at me like I'm a very middle-class ponce right now, Cal. There is nothing wrong with a bit of mulled wine.
There's a few things I've wondered about you, Josh, and you've answered a few of them tonight. Like, I still wonder what car you drive, because I could picture you in a Lamborghini, a BMW, a Fiat 500. You like cover the board.
It's all of them combined.
All of them.
It's a
Lamborghini 500.
It's the front end of a Mini welded onto a Hummer. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, with a Reliant Robin. Yeah, it depends what mood I'm in. You know, sometimes I'll take the Ferrari. Sometimes I'll take the Ford. Sometimes I'll take the Ford Focus. Sometimes I'll take the Mini. Sometimes I'll take the kit car. Sometimes I'll take the bus. That's what we'll do.
Fair, yeah.
No, not the bus. Like the bus. Like I'll get in. I'll drive.
The one you own. Yeah.
I'll own it. Yeah, because I own it.
Got a battle bus.
Yeah, that's what it is. See, it flies through the air, and then I just jump off and parachute to wherever I need to get to. People are there. We have a snurt, which is pea soup with bacon. I nearly had a proper full-on argument with my partner yesterday.
Oh dear.
Like, she suggested something and I nearly, oh God, you know, I saw red.
Go on.
We were cooking dinner, okay? And we're still using those like Gusto boxes. Not sponsored, they just genuinely are really useful. It's not just Gusto. What we do is we cycle through whichever one is cheap at the time.
Whichever one's got free codes at the
Exactly,
time.
exactly. So, like, we work out what the cheapest meal box that gets delivered to you is. Then we go onto, like, Tesco's or Sainsbury's website and work out how much it will cost to buy the meal bit by bit. And if it's cheaper just to buy the box, we just buy the box. And then we make all our friends use the reference codes, and then we just take theirs as well. So we have a lot of food for much cheaper than we should have actually paid for it. But we were doing pigs in blankets, which for anyone in the chat is sausages wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, pig wrapped in more pig.
Yeah, but it was a vegetarian version. Now, I'm okay with vegetarian sausages. Some of them are all right. You know, some of them, the texture's okay, the flavour's okay. It's not terrible. But I was reading the recipe.
Yeah.
In order to make the vegetarian bacon that you need to wrap these sausages in, it asks you to thinly peel parsnips and then wrap the sausages in the thinly peeled parsnip.
Yep.
I nearly hit someone, Cal.
I don't blame you.
I was disgusted. Okay?
Yep.
I nearly phoned up Gusto. And when they would have picked up, I'd have been like, the fuck? Okay? That's all I would have said, and they would have known what I'm on about.
See, they should have used aubergine.
Well,
aubergine makes it better, like vegan bacon.
What I did was I found the best bacon, which is just bacon, which we had in the fridge. So my partner looked at me and she's like, you do understand the irony of wrapping a vegetarian sausage in actual real bacon. And I'm like, this is no time for, understanding irony. This is a dilemma. I am not wrapping a vegetarian sausage in a parsnip and calling it a pig in blanket. Okay? That goes against everything I stand for.
That's a pig in recession.
It is. That is disgusting. It's not even a pig. That is,
That's a pig in need of help.
It is. That's like a hog in duvet. You've got to name it something different.
Oh, God, yeah, you can't call that a pig in a blanket.
No, but when she did that, I'm like, this is wrong. So I changed that around. I sorted that out quick. And then I added some cheese and some butter to the mashed potato, because cheesy, buttery mash, of course, is good. And then I'll tell you, you can tell that I'm getting more drunk, because I'm really... By the way, for anyone watching, there's a lot of alcohol in this glass, and there's not much stuff left in the glass. I was really proud of myself a few days ago. I cleaned the kettle.
We just replaced ours. I saw how much lime scale was on the inside. I was like, nah.
Here's the irony. I'm going to replace it anyway. But I wanted to see if I could clean it. And how you clean it? You pour distilled vinegar into it, and then you boil it. And I boiled the kettle, and some lime scale came off, and I swished it round, and I boiled it, and some lime scale came off, and I swished it round. And I did this for about 5 hours. And after 5 hours, I poured it all out. I looked in, there was almost no lime scale, and I thought, we should buy a better kettle.
Yeah.
But it makes
mine's flawed because it's got like a filter mesh that's built in at the top and the spout. So like you can do that, but you've just got lime scale just washing around inside.
Can't you remove the filter mesh in your kettle?
Nope, built in.
For Christmas,
that's what you get with an IKEA, not an IKEA, Argos kettle.
Mate, for Christmas, I'm going to buy you a kettle with a removable filter mesh, and your life will change. All right?
Oh, we've got a new one now that I can turn on with a smart plug.
Okay.
Set times, so I can have the kettle boiled for me when I wake up.
Mate, that is the life, isn't it?
That's the life.
That is the life. I love
it's like my
this.
AI butler.
I like that. People in the chat, you probably came here expecting, gaming, but what you're getting is fantastic life hacks.
Yeah.
How to clean a kettle. Just boil some vinegar in it. Very important that you pour the vinegar away before you try and make a cup of tea using said kettle. Doesn't taste good.
Otherwise, you've then got mulled wine with lime scale.
Correct. Right. Okay, right. What is wrong with mulled wine? What is your issue with mulled wine, Cal?
So anyone who's been to the Birmingham Christmas market already knows where I'm going with this.
Okay.
When you order mulled wine, you get a tiny little snowman whose head's been, like, decapitated with mulled wine in it.
Yeah. Yeah, mate,
I don't need to say anything else.
Mate, you come round to mine, we'll get you proper mulled wine. Okay, what you do, you put a saucepan on the hob. Dear. You fill it with red wine. Then you get the mulling spices, which are from like Argos or Tesco or Sainsbury's or whatever. Yeah, seriously. You leave all that in, and then you cook it for like half an hour. And then you pour it out and you drink it. Amazing. And if you want it to be non-alcoholic...
you could not do that, and you could just pour some JD and Coke.
Right, and if you want it to be non-alcoholic, you do the same thing, but with apple juice instead of red wine. Genuinely really nice. No, mulled wine, actually really good. I'm gonna introduce you to some good mulled wine.
Oh dear.
It's a myth thing. Everyone in the chat, what have you been up to this week? Because I have literally been a lord of leisure. It's been nice, to be honest, to have the week to chill more. And now the Pokemon video has done really well. What video should I play? What game should I play next? Cal, do you have any suggestions for retro games?
Ooh. I would have said one of the original Sonics.
Oh, good choice.
Sonic and Tails.
Okay, one of the original ones there. A lot of people are suggesting Gothic and Knights of the Old Republic. And look, it's very, very difficult to review RPG games because they take like a week to finish.
Yeah.
Okay? I would love to review Knights of the Old Republic, but it's going to take me a week to finish it, and then another week to write the script, and then another week to edit it. I'm going to put one video out a month if I'm lucky. Which I may end up doing at some point, to be honest.
Yeah.
People are saying PC only. Nah, man, we've got emulation. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Do whatever we want. In fact, my partner's downstairs right now playing on the Switch, and she's playing on the Aladdin for the old like Genesis or SNES or whatever it was. It came out years and years and years ago. Ridiculously hard game.
Okay.
Let me know if
Actually,
you have any...
Someone's just mentioned something in my chat that I'll be making a video on soon. A game that's in early access and I got content creator access to. It's a game called Sunnyside. It's like I've played it on stream last week, actually. It's a Japanese...
Oh, the farming one. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's not my cup of tea, that game.
Yeah.
This one was.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's so good.
Good. I like it when... Because sometimes you look at a genre and you think, I don't want that genre, but you can still find enjoyment in it.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to test it because it's a really small team of developers that raised a small amount of money for the type of project it is.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, you know what?
It's all right.
It actually looks good. They've done stuff with the money. And then I played it and oh my god, it's just so much fun.
That's what I think is important about trying to objectively critique something. You can subjectively dislike it while you objectively can say it's high quality and good. You know, you can see the love that's been put into it, that kind of stuff. Cal, as I'm getting slightly more drunk, I only have one drunk story that's of any actual relevance.
Oh, Christ.
And I want to share it with you, and the chat, if you will. It's like, I know that you look at me and think, oh, Josh, I bet he's a crazy party animal.
I do.
I bet he goes to the discotheque and throws some shapes. That's what people think.
With the reload animations.
Yeah, you know, when I walk into the club and I'm like, Wagwan, my homeboys, you know? That's what happens.
Don't ever say that again.
Hearken, I hear the ambience of the popo, you know, that kind of stuff.
My dude.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty hip. But anyway, I like a nice cup of wine. It's actually a cup of SodaStream Dr. Pepper, which is called like Dr. Pibb because it's a cheap version, with some cherry brandy in it. Thank you very much.
This drunk story then. I need to know this.
I was at university, Cal.
Okay, this is starting strong.
And I got dumped.
Oh dear.
I know, it's not a good start for a story. Well, no, it's a great start for a story, but it's not a good start for me personally.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what everyone does after they get dumped. I'm going to go to Weatherspoons and drink out of a fishbowl.
Every good night starts at Weatherspoons.
It does. So I went to Weatherspoons and I ordered the fishbowl, which is a literal fishbowl.
Yeah.
That is filled with extremely bright coloured alcohol. And a straw.
And a lot of ice.
Oh, God, yeah. And I just started drinking. And I think my friends were there. Either they came with me or I turned up and they were there. One of the two. Either way, it's quite sad. Can you imagine turning up and all your friends being at the pub already?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like...
That's not a good start.
You want to ask, why wasn't I invited? And then you realise, I know why I wasn't invited. Because of who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So I start drinking from this fishbowl, and after a while I get pretty much all the way through it, and I think I feel very ill. So I go to the bathroom upstairs of the Weatherspoons, and I think, right, it's time for a tactical throw-up. That's what you need to do every now and again. You know, when you decide, this is going to make me feel better. So I'm standing in the cubicle in the toilet, I'm thinking, I need to be sick. That's what I need to do. I need this tactical. But I wasn't feeling ill, and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll spin around really fast.
Oh, for God's sake.
So I just started spinning. And unfortunately, while I was doing it, I kind of knocked the door open. So when people walked in and looked to the left, they saw a cubicle with an open door with a posh Beyblade. We saw a guy. I haven't changed my clothes in like 10 years. So they saw a guy in jeans, a shirt, and a vest just spinning as fast as he could in the thing. You know, like how primary school, like infants, kids would just spin round because that's what they do. I was just doing that, and eventually I finished, and I wasn't sick, but I was very dizzy. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go home. I think by now, I think I was in charge, but I wasn't. So now the story takes 3 different directions depending on who you ask. Okay. In my mind, what happened was this. I went downstairs, left the pub by the front door, tripped over, and accidentally bumped into a policeman who was just standing there, because it's university town, there are lots of police. And I stepped back and I went, I'm very sorry, officer. I'm aware that I've had a bit to drink. I didn't mean to bump into you. I'm going to go home now. And he was like, I understand, just be careful, get out of here. Because the dude was pretty chill. And I walked home. The next day I asked my mates, who were also a bit, drunk at the time, what happened with that policeman? And they were like, what policeman? And I said, no, I bumped into someone. I bumped into a policeman and apologised. And they're like, Josh, you fell into a builder wearing a high-vis jacket and just growled at him. Apparently, I just fell out, bumped into a builder, kind of stepped back and went, and then walked off. That's what they remember. And then I asked my even more sober friends what happened, with the builder. And they went, what builder? I went, what happened? And they went, you fell out of the pub and fell into a bollard. Okay? That's all it was. So I went back to the pub and I looked, and outside the front, there's a bright yellow bollard, which is just a huge concrete post out the front of the pub. So all I'd done is got drunk, walked upstairs to the toilets, span around for like 5 minutes, walked outstairs dizzy, fell, smashed myself into a yellow bollard, looked at it, screamed, and then walked off. That was what actually happened. But in my mind, I can still remember the policeman. I know that story happened.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was my only experience of being slightly tipsy. That and turning up to a university, obviously, slightly. Cal, do you want to share with us? Do you have any family-friendly stories that you can share?
I have a very, very good drunk story. And this is one that I will never forget because of how many people were involved and where we were.
Come on, Cal.
Bulgaria. I was 20, I want to say. Yeah. It was me, my girlfriend, my cousin, 2 friends that were a couple, and another guy.
Gotcha. So quite a few people.
Yeah, so 2 couples and 2 singles. So there's 6 of us. And we rented 2 rooms in, if anyone knows Sunny Beach in Bulgaria, it's an absolute shit tip. We didn't realise this. It's a party destination.
Okay.
So first holiday away, and we went hard. Like, we were about a week into this holiday, and we got this 2 rooms next to each other with a balcony over like this street where there were just prostitutes stumbling around. So you know, good views all round.
The standard, British tourist destination.
Standard. Yeah. And we went on a night out further down the beach in Bulgaria. We'd gone out to Sunny Beach, but before we went, we wanted to pre-drink. Now, Bulgaria's cheap as hell.
Oh, God,
so cheap.
God, yeah.
We bought a bottle of Jack Daniels for £4, the big ones.
It's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, but we bought one each. So
okay. Right.
6 of us were sitting on the balconies pre-drinking before we went out.
Okay.
Absolutely steaming. Like, we don't remember leaving the hotel, and so that's at like 6 p.m. We go all the way past Sunny Beach, walking on the shingles that is apparently a beach, all the way down. Probably like an hour and a half walk.
Because you lose track of time when you're when you're in that headspace. Yeah. You just keep going.
Yeah. No, I think this was actually the last day of us being able to, check out was the next day.
Yeah.
So, hour and a half walk, got there, and they've got this drink. So, they've got this thing in Bulgaria where every bar has something called happy hour, which is just double drinks for an hour.
Yeah.
But you slowly learn the longer you're there that every hour is happy hour and it's just a scam.
Yeah, that's just what it is. When you turn up, you're like, best buy something, it's happy hour.
Instead, they're just forcing you to buy 2 drinks.
Yeah.
So we did that, and there was this drink called Kung Fu, and I can't remember what was in it. Someone will probably know. and we drank about 13 rounds of Kung Fu, apparently, judging by our lack of money the next morning.
Yeah.
After that, we were like, okay, that's enough. We're going home, because my girlfriend was getting pissy at me because I was absolutely hammered.
Understandable.
Yeah, completely understandable. So we took an hour and a half walk home that took three hours, because I'd walked the wrong way up the beach and was nearly at a skiing destination. So we've gone all the way back to the hotel.
Okay.
And this is where I feel bad that this even happened.
Okay.
Because yeah, well, so we've gone back into the room, and so it was me and my girlfriend in one room, and my cousin was supposed to be in that room.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be the other couple in the room next door and my other friend, Daryl.
Yeah.
So we'd come back. I remember lying down, looking at the ceiling, head absolutely spinning. And I was like, where's my cousin? And all of a sudden, Daryl comes bursting into our room, and he's like, I'm not staying in there. He was like, all three of them throwing up everywhere. And I was like, oh, it's fine. You can stay in here. So we were just lying there watching like David Attenborough or something. And all we heard was just people throwing up next door. And I was like, I'm going to go check on him. I opened the door, and it was like a scene from The Shining. You know, the hallway scene. Like, I can't even... This is going to sound like an exaggeration. Yeah. A trail from the very inside of the door back to the balcony. You could see a line going round where they've done a circle outside, come back in. They've gone in between every bed. They've covered the floor. Like 80% floor space was vomit.
How has that happened?
This is what I asked. And I was like, where is everyone? And then I see that the toilet doors just like open ajar. I open the toilet door. There's two of them over each other, over the bathtub, everywhere. Walls, plastered. Toilet, just not even water anymore. The smell was horrendous. I was walking around holding my nose, and I came back out the room, back into mine, and they were like, what's it like in there? I was like, you don't want to go in there. You don't want to go in there.
Oh, Bulgaria. Think about it
gets better.
Carry on, Cal.
It gets even better, because the next morning, we kept hearing banging on all the doors down the row, and it was just room service or cleaning or something. And it hadn't really clicked with us at this point that next door is like bad. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to go and see how, because we knew they couldn't clean it up. So we went in, and they were all still asleep, and they were in the room next door, the cleaners. So I had to wake them all up, and I'd shut the door behind me when I went in, and it was horrendous. Like, there were just towels everywhere covered. And so we jumped the balcony into my room, grabbed our suitcase, and fucking legged it.
I feel really sorry for cleaners in any kind of destination hotel.
I know, I did as well. But the funniest part of this, like the bit that sticks with me, is that it was these tiny Russian women that were doing the cleaning, and they kept banging on the door to check if anyone was in there as we were just like scooting out of the room next door with the suitcases. So we like meet face to face as we're coming out. And all you hear in a Russian accent is, what the fuck? Like, as we're going down the stairs checking out.
She knew.
Oh, she knew.
When you walked past and she looked at you, there is nothing scarier than a small, angry Russian lady. Okay? Yep. She knew.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, we went downstairs, checked out, and we just hung out in the red light district instead of in the hotel lobby.
No, I understand. See, I get, like, middle-class drunk. You know, I want to get that. I want to get to the level of, you know, you open the door to your house and you've always got, like, a glass of whiskey. You know those kind of middle class, almost like old English army colonels levels of drunk, where it's always kind of
armchair.
Yeah, it's quirky, you know, instead of just necessarily being a problem. That's what I wanted to get to. See, Josh is grammar school drunk. Callum is comprehensive school drunk.
Yeah, I'm council estate drunk.
Oh God, I remember the only real effect that it had on my university exam actually once. And I am still salty about this. So,
okay.
Part of my university exams as presenting was we had to choose one of 3 presenting styles and present to camera. Because presenting to camera was, you know, a whole module that we did for years and years and years. And you had 3 to choose from. You had MTV-style music presenter, you had BBC news presenter, and you had children's TV program presenter. Yeah. And I went for BBC news presenter. And it was very simple. I simply had to sit there in a nice suit, stare at the camera and go, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BBC News at 10. Our first story today." And then I read an auto cue all the way through. And I thought I did it really well. And then my examiner pulled me aside and went, "You're not very good at this." And I thought, "You what, mate?" And they were like, "You're not very good at this. You need to improve." And I thought, "You are wrong." But I went home because the actual exam was the next day. So I just sat up all night practicing my BBC received pronunciation voice, just to make sure I was exactly David Attenborough. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BBC." Just as posh as I could be.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning like an hour late, and the exam started in about 20 minutes. And I did not have any time to have a shower or to get dressed properly. So I thought, you know what? Screw it. New plan. I threw on some random ragged clothes that I had. I took a nice big shot of Bailey's and I ran to uni. And when I got in, I looked properly bedraggled, a little bit tipsy. And I went, "I'm doing the MTV presenter one," because I just didn't care anymore.
We'll do it live, damn it. We'll do it live.
That's exactly what we did. And they went, "Right." I'm like, "Right, today we have got blah, 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 blah." Just reading the auto cue off. Blah, blah, blah. Just completely out of control. "Right, it's going to be a great show. See you later." I just walked off. I didn't care. And he pulled me to the side and went, "Josh, that was fantastic." And I thought it was only fantastic because I didn't care.
Yeah.
And it was that moment that I realised that not necessarily caring too much when you do something is sometimes the best way to relax into it. From then on, I relaxed into it. Still more sober than an actual MTV moderator and presenter. It was just ridiculous. So, Cal, have you done all your Christmas shopping?
I've done none.
You've done none of your Christmas shopping?
No, I'm going to start tomorrow, though.
You know, the best way to make Christmas shopping really easy is to not have any friends.
Yeah.
Think about it. You haven't got to shop.
That's true. Unfortunately, all our family live, like, within 3 streets of each other. So we kind of have to see them.
I see.
Which means we kind of have to get them something.
I see. I had an awkward phone call with my mum on the drive back from town. We bought all the Baileys, and I got a phone call from my mum just asking how I was and catching up. And it was on speakerphone, so my partner could hear it as well. And I'm like, "So, Mum, how do you feel about a bottle of Baileys for Christmas?" And she went, "Oh, no thanks." I was just sat there thinking, well, fuck. What are you...
I've got news for you.
Yeah, I guess you're not going to like your present this year then.
Yeah.
But no, that was the one when we decided to have that one. All she wanted was a teapot. So I went to TK Maxx and bought her a teapot. TK Maxx, by the way, the store that sells everything, but you have no idea what's in there till you go in there.
Yeah.
You a fan of TK Maxx, Cal?
No, because I had one experience with them where I went in for these nice pair of boots, and they were really nice. There was only one pair of them, happened to be my size, perfect. Took them to the counter, and they've got this thing where, one, they don't have prices on anything, because they all get knocked off, all the tags. They just kind of like balance them on the hangers. At least at the one by me, because it's a bit of a trampy TK Maxx.
They have stickers on our ones. Do you guys not have the stickers?
But people just peel them off and stick them on other things, don't they? Let's be honest.
No. No, everyone in this one just buys the clothes.
Right, okay.
They're ridiculously cheap.
Josh, you don't live in Cannock. That's the difference here. You don't live in Cannock.
It's £100 jacket reduced to like 15 quid. You don't need more reduction. That's fine.
Well, anyway, so I took them. That's not the problem. I took them to the counter and they're like, "That's £25." I was like, "Awesome." And this man, whose first day on the job it was, they'd got it where through the lace hole, they'd put the clamp tag thing on, like the theft tag.
Oh, yeah,
it's Cannock.
Yeah.
So he goes to take that off, and he can't get the thing off properly. And instead of going to ask another member of staff, he puts it behind like the desk, and you can see him just wrenching it. And I'm like, oh god, what's he doing? He's got a pair of pliers for some reason behind there, trying to get this tag off. And I literally watch him strip the entire panel of leather off. And I'd been stood there for about 25 minutes, waiting for him to get the tag off, to get these boots that I needed for a party I was going to in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm just stood there looking, and he was just like, "I'll knock him down to £4." I'm like, there's no leather on one of them.
Yeah, you'll give them me for free now.
I was like,
basically broken.
I'll take them.
Yeah.
15 quid and you can have one of them.
No, I love TK Maxx. It's a discount clothes shop for anyone who's not been to one before. But you walk in and you've got nice clothes, and then you've got the actual price, and then the TK Maxx price. And I found some shirts, some like Ben Sherman shirts. I found some Gucci shirts.
Oh.
Original price £100 for just a white shirt like this. And knocked down to like £8.
Yes, actually, I did get something good from there. I got some Calvin Klein socks, a pack of 10 for £3.
Yeah, see, you get some decent stuff.
Yeah.
You do get some new stuff. People in the chat are leaving to go and play Endwalker. That's absolutely fine. You guys go and enjoy yourself playing Endwalker. I've heard it's really, really good. No spoilers.
I've heard the servers are back up now,
Yeah. They've managed to pull them back up. Have you heard of Free Realms being fan rebooted? Look, the amount of MMOs that get fan reboots that don't last is ridiculous, okay? I understand that you get this feel-good feeling of the fans are rebooting the game, but then unfortunately it often doesn't last because the people who hold the rights to it want to take it down, or you realise that fans, as passionate as they are, often don't have the time or the skills to keep an MMORPG alive.
No.
That is the real problem.
You just saying fans has made me remember a question I'll ask you.
Tell me.
What's the wildest things your fans have ever done?
I had a stalker for a while, like a legit stalker. Yeah.
Really?
I was in a play, a stage play. This is like 7 or 8 years ago now. I was in a stage play. I was performing, and after I got a message on something, I think it was like Twitter. Hey, just saw the play you were in, really enjoyed it, great performance. And I thought, great, thanks, that's really kind of you, that was really nice. And then she was like, can we, meet up and have a drink? Because I'm looking at getting into the acting world and I would, love to, discuss the acting world with you. And I thought at this point it was just like a completely harmless actress who saw a play, who wanted to ask me about, getting into the world, which is totally fine. That
so naive, Josh.
I was naive. So I met up with this girl, she was lovely, we had a conversation. Exchange numbers, and I thought it was kind of semi-professional, semi-casual. It was nice. It was a nice person.
Yeah.
And then I left, and then the first thing happened, and this still weirds me out, okay? Have you ever had it when someone leaves you a load of voice messages on WhatsApp?
Oh my god, yes.
Like,
that's instant red flag for me.
Just type. The great thing about WhatsApp is that I don't need to listen to anything. I can just read it really quickly. I woke up to my phone with like 15 minute-long voice clips on WhatsApp, and I had to listen to all of them, and it was just rambling. And then eventually I was like, you know what, this is weird. This is very strange. I'm not comfortable with this. So I ended up blocking her. And then she found my email, and then I blocked that. Then she found that, and then I blocked that, then she found that. It was creepy. For like 2 or 3 months, I kept getting random messages from random numbers, and I knew it was her, because no one else voice messages on WhatsApp. So yeah, legitimately had someone actually stalk me for a while, and it was a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
Oh no, I did. I got a whole email. I got a whole email. I put it on Twitter. This dude was properly angry. I can read it out to you. It was amazing. So a complete email from a dude sent to my business email address. He was insanely angry about something. I'll see if I can bring it up somehow in a second. But God, this guy was properly unhappy. Let me see if I can open it up for you now. It was an insulting email. I'll send you a picture in a second.
Okay.
I think it was just called... Yeah, the tagline was called Dunno. There we go.
Dunno?
Yeah, it was Dunno. Okay, so it was a long email. I'll read it to you.
Go on.
Got recommended your video about YouTube and how it's dying on my homepage. You are clueless. I'm a YouTuber with big channels and you don't understand shit about the algorithm or the audiences. Titles and thumbnails are irrelevant for the most part. People will click anything as long as it's in browse or suggested. You analyse so much, but you can't even look at your own suggested and homepage to come to a conclusion. You must still think YouTube metrics and experts actually matter. LOL, with lots of O's and L's.
Oh yeah.
Subs and likes haven't mattered since 2015 at the least. I don't know what happened before my time. This low IQ trend of YouTubers is a baseless myth. You have never researched the algorithm. You're completely fucking clueless. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on, explaining about how terrible I am. And then it goes into some weird political slant. Because I start talking about how PewDiePie represented the idea of one guy in a room producing content, and T-Series, the big, huge Indian mega corporation, was about the gentrification of the whole things. And he went, then you rant about the Swedish cuck with trash, effortless content that matters in the algo. Lol, 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 lol. I'm 100% sure you are a... not going to say that word as well. You're as dumb as they come. Blah, blah, blah. It's an absolute word salad. I want to get it framed. Seriously, I want to frame this. I was so proud of it.
I hadn't... You talking about emails. I was thinking I've not had any weird emails, but I did actually. I've got 2 stories. So the first one, I got an email from someone after my first Earth 2 video saying, saying, I worked in the military, like I'm ex-military, and I can confirm that Earth 2 is completely possible. I worked for DARPA that were working on a project to train soldiers in the metaverse. And like, this wasn't just a lol, let's just have a bit of fun with the email. This was like a 6-pager. And I read through the whole thing because I'm like, what on earth am I reading? But the worst part is, this guy gave me credentials and stuff that actually match up. And I'm like, what is going on?
See, I did some consulting work for the military a long time ago, the Royal Navy, and we tend to refer to those kind of people as WALT. And there's an old book that's actually been turned into a relatively good film called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And the idea, it's an interesting film if you get a chance to watch it. The idea of Walter Mitty is he's a dude who lives in his own head. And he goes on these crazy adventures, and he just imagines that he's absolutely incredible. So whenever you see someone in the military, you normally imagine someone walking in full airsoft gear, into a local pub, who likes to complain that he's part of, special forces and stuff. Complete Walt, that's what you refer to them as. You tend to find people who are actually in position, sometimes called the gravy seals. People who are in positions of actual power tend not to go around emailing the fact that they're in positions of actual power. Was the guy about to tell you he was a confirmed Navy SEAL with like 300 kills?
Yeah, and his brother's an attack helicopter and
is
stuff
that
like that.
going to happen, mate? He will wipe you out with precision, the likes of which have never been seen.
Originally, I thought it was a big copy pasta, like you were just saying, but no, it was a fully written out by himself email. Going into the ins and outs on how it works and the fact that they're developing DARPA technology for the HoloLens and stuff. And I'm just like, the HoloLens isn't even out, which obviously they could probably still get. It's just wild.
There are a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of weird things the military do. Training soldiers in the metaverse? Possibly not one of them.
They can't even go and steal like oil from Iran because the resources aren't added yet.
Exactly. You need to know what the resources are. You may as well just invade anywhere at random and hope you get something good.
Yeah.
This was, that would all be under non-disclosure. It's very, very weird. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they did... They trained. There's a whole film, The Men Who Stare at Goats. They trained the army to use psychic power to kill goats many years ago. Turns out that doesn't work. I think the guy has maybe been playing a little bit too much kind of Metal Gear Solid 2 and took the plot a little bit to heart and decided, hey, I'm going to spread the information around and stuff. You do get that, but we have had a lot of passionate, that's a good word for it, player. Because I get an email. Let's say that I make a video about game A. I will get an email the next day. Hey, I'm a high-level player of game A. I promise, if you come back and play it for a few more hours, I will give you a high-level account. I'll talk you through it. I'll walk you through it. It's the best game once you give it a chance. And I'll ignore that email. And then the next day I'll play game B. And I'll get an email. Hey, I'm a high-level player of game B. If you come back and do it. I've played 51 games on the worst MMO series. Every single community of every single game absolutely believes they are the community that I need to come back to and spend a few more hours with and get given a high-level character on and get walked through it. Everyone believes that their game is the most important one. It's the hidden gem that I've missed. Yeah. That's what they believe.
Everyone's just blindsided by what they actually play.
Yeah, it's a very small, insular thing. It's like, it's almost patriotism or nationalism, but for a game. Have you ever noticed how people who are pretty well travelled, or people who are at least aware that other cultures and nationalities exist, are normally a lot less prejudiced? Because they're just kind of chilled with everything. I think it's an old...
they've seen it all.
Yeah.
It's like...
What's the old quote? Like, travel is the...
Travel is the enemy of prejudice. Is a man well learned.
That's it, yeah. Travel is the enemy of prejudice. That's what it is. If you travel around and discover a lot of cultures, a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of lifestyles, you tend to be a bit more chill toward a lot of them. But you see these video games, these MMORPGs, the players have never gone to play another one. They've never gone out of their own little tribal echo chamber. And that really reflects on their opinion toward everything else, which I think is a real shame.
Yeah. Question for you.
Sure.
Have you ever had your community or fans a naked Asian man in a shower to give you a shout out?
I've dreamt of that day. Unfortunately, it's
I'm
never
sure
happened.
Someone will do it for you.
So, for anyone in my chat that's entirely unsure of what happened, Cal, talk us through the process of how an Asian man in a shower gave you a live shout out on Twitch.
So this was just really weird. I was doing something. I'd finished up my stream, and I was like, I'm going to go get food, and then we'll have our movie night. By the time I'd come back, Locust had found a hot tub streamer, which was just a naked Asian man in the shower doing karaoke.
Yep.
And he hadn't got many viewers, so they all sat there and watched. And out of boredom, they gifted him subs and said, hey, can you give a shout out to our friend Callum Upton? And so he did, and that was clipped and sent to me. And so it's just a big naked Asian man beating his chest saying, I love you, big dog.
That's a thing now. That is a thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But no, I mean...
I did.
People have said to me, you know, oh, Josh, your community has attacked people. They've said bad things. I'm like, my community are just a bunch of people who are too busy grinding in whatever MMORPG they're playing to care about anything else. The great thing is because the people that tend to watch our content are normally, like, a little bit older, a lot of them just don't care. Or they've got enough confidence that when you say something bad about the game they love, they just kind of nod along and they're like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do tend to find out that when people are much more confident and well-travelled, they can let insults just slide off them. Yeah.
They understand that nothing's 100% perfect. And
exactly. Which is
okay.
much, much nicer to be. Much, much nicer to be.
Yeah.
No, I've never had that as a shout-out. I am thinking about merchandise for the next year.
I was as well, actually.
What merchandise are you going to make, Cal? Because we need to sell people some crap. We can't sell them tiles on a grill. It's got to be more than that.
So, I'm looking at people who do mouse mats.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to get, you know, the big full desk mouse mats.
Oh, yeah,
they're cut up into little tiles, and all of my Patreons and Twitch subs have their name on it. Like, no, seriously. I'm going to break it up, and every patron or Twitch sub will have their name on a little tile to say they own it on the mouse mat.
Oh man, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I want to get a little keychain of a computer monitor that just says second monitor content on it, or a mug that says second monitor content on it, or a mug with a picture of my face that just says stop it on the other side.
That would be good as well.
That again would work.
Someone's suggesting I sell naked Asian men NFTs. No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Cal, I will support you in whatever you want to do, okay?
That's not it.
I might not always agree, but I will support. I want you to feel that you've got that validation and that behind you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I will support you.
A mug with my mug on it. Second monitor content, clothed Asian man NFT, fourth monitor content. I just think it'd be dumb, to be honest. You know?
I think my line of mugs is just going to be a mug with a picture of you holding the mug that has my face on it.
Fantastic. I'd go with that one. I would completely. Do we have a Callum mug? There is one Callum mug that exists.
There is, actually. Everyone says that as a joke and then realise, oh, it's true.
There actually is a Callum. In fact, a friend of mine knits mug cozies. So when I was running out of mugs, in order to help me out, she put my face onto a mug cozy.
Did you put that over my mug?
I did. Okay, because this keeps your mug clean. Let me show you what this mug is. So, in fact, we've got loads of mug cozies up here. So, I basically said to her, hey, could you just do me like a selection of geeky mug cozies? And this is what she came back with. Okay, they're all hand knit. This is awesome. So, we've got the Final Fantasy VII Comet, or the Meteor, coming down, which I think is really cool. She went with JSH. It's flipped on the camera, obviously, but JSH from Josh Strife Hayes. Then she did Mario sprites from the original game, which I thought was awesome. Then another one that just says FF7, again flipped for the camera. And then the Triforce from Legend of Zelda. But these are all, all mug cozies, and I thought they're awesome. So I've got a load of those to use at some point. I said to her, if you want to start like an Etsy shop, do you want me to, mention you? And she's like, no, I just do it for fun. She's not bothered about doing it for a business. People have asked me what I think about Parlia in the chat. I will get onto that in a second.
Oh, yes.
This, if I take the mug cozy off this mug, this is a very special mug, very special to my heart, because on one side, there's a picture of Cal. Okay? Look at that man right there. It's a beautiful man.
Look at him.
And on the other side, there's a very specific number. 338,238,593. Do you remember why
That's how many games I've made out of spite.
Do you remember why that number's special, Cal? I remember why that number's special.
Yes, I'm never going to forget why that number's on there.
That number's special because many years ago, many moons ago, probably about, 5 or 6 months ago now?
Yeah, something like that.
You did a 24-hour Twitch stream. Now, I've done a 24-hour Twitch stream before, and they are tough. They're draining, man. And to kind of keep you motivated, I hung around as long as I could. And at the end of the 24-hour Twitch stream, we decided to give you one final, injection of adrenaline by dueling at the RuneScape Duel Arena. And you risked your entire bank to me, and I won.
Yeah.
And I still have your bank.
I'm just really happy that it came down to the last punch.
Yeah, it did. It literally all the way down there. Have you seen?
You wouldn't guess who it was.
Have you seen they've changed? They've changed the Duel Arena now.
Yeah, 10k max stake, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's 10 mil.
It's up to 10 million now. You cannot risk more than 10 million at a time. So they've pretty much killed the Duel Arena as far as real world wealth trading goes, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because it was
Don't know why it was controversial. Yeah. I mean, I know why it was controversial.
Yeah.
And this is something they'll never admit.
Yeah.
But the kids that were too young to buy gold were buying bonds.
Yeah, God, yeah, straight away.
So that was going straight into Jagex's pocket.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They definitely made some money off that, and I think it was a decent call for them to change it around and change it up. So, Parlia, that's the MMORPG being made by the ex-World of Warcraft devs, isn't it?
Yes.
Who is in charge of Parlia? Is it Grums? Because
I think it is, yeah.
I've got him on Twitter, and I see a lot of his stuff, and a lot of it's quite entertaining, and I agree with a lot of his gaming-focused opinions whenever he puts them out. So yeah, is it Grums? I think it is. But it's just more like a social, chilled-out MMO. And I think if they
looks really good.
Yeah, if they aim for a small, dedicated community. No, Grums is Amator. Sorry, yeah, Grums is Amator. My bad with that. Parlia, if they don't aim to be world dominating, if they just aim to provide a small, chilled out, relaxed, community focused experience, yeah, they'll do well. Because you don't need 1 million players to have an MMO be successful.
No.
You can do it with, tens of thousands. If the game isn't massive.
I think if it carries on along the route they've kind of shown, it's going to be wildly successful.
Yeah. You don't need combat to do it, because a lot of players don't necessarily want all the combat. They can... Animal Crossing, as people in the chat are saying, could be an MMORPG if they wanted it to just be relaxed and chilled out. You don't always need the combat. I mean, a lot of people have played RuneScape and played New World and played Guild Wars as crafters, as gatherers. And if Parlia is going to provide that, that's fine.
RuneScape did the same, and they did it really well.
Yeah.
They never punished anyone for not doing combat. If you didn't want to touch combat ever... You could stay level 3 combat and just skill and do whatever you want. Yeah. Make all your money through skilling, just meet friends through skilling, unlock new experiences through skilling. You didn't have to do combat. That's something that so many games are missing now. It's crafting, and that's just like a tack on
the
combat game.
There's a great video on YouTube, The Problem with Crafting, or We Need to Talk About Crafting, because crafting in MMOs hasn't really changed much in years. It's gather resources, combine enough resources at a certain location to create item. It's a very stagnant system, and it's not that it needs to be completely revamped, but we do need to look into what could be added to it. Something could change at some point. Something could be removed. There's potential there. I don't think we've finished it yet. I don't think we need to make sweeping changes, because that's always dangerous, but there's stuff.
I mean, we're trying to address that in Nightmare World, because we've realised that crafting's just crap. It really is. So, like with the modular smithing system, we wanted it to be different. We're trying to get rid of as much UI as possible.
Yeah.
I always find UI crafting is just lazy.
Yeah. I mean, I quite liked the crafting system in Mortal Online too, to be fair. And once it's explained better, once the UI is changed around a bit more, the actual result of having the handle design that you want, the head design that you want of a hammer, the hilt of a sword, the pommel of a sword, the blade to look the right way, the variation they've got in that is amazing. That's really good. You've got to respect the amount of variation they've got with that. I might dislike the gameplay in general, but I can appreciate that system. That's really good with it. So yeah, crafting is something you need to look into it. But Parlia, I'll tell you what always puts me on edge about MMORPGs. When a new MMO is announced and it's described as the best thing for everyone. It's going to have the best combat system, the best crafting, the best questing, the best this, the best that. It's going to be the best thing ever. Don't try and be the best thing ever. Try and be the best at one specific thing. Choose one element you are going to absolutely dominate the market on.
Yeah.
And go with that. That's what we need to do. So what will Parlia dominate the market on? What demographic is it going for? What specific type of player is it going to absolutely appeal to and be number one? Yeah, people saying casual players. Social players. Casual, chilled out, relaxed social players.
I think they will absolutely nail it with the social players. Yeah. And that's a good angle to attack it from, because getting social players will bring more people in.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like, hey, to a friend, hey, do you want to come play this game with me? I'll just chill out and hang out with other people.
Yeah.
Just like you used to, bank standing in RuneScape. You didn't have to play the game to enjoy it.
I think one of the biggest aspects, one of the biggest reasons that a lot of people don't enjoy MMORPGs anymore, and they keep hopping from one game to another, is not that the game is bad, it's that they're trying to recapture the way they used to play the game, and you can't do that once you know the tricks. When you were a kid, you played inefficiently. You played with weird armor sets. You played with weapons you liked the look of. You didn't really pay attention to the stat bonuses, to what you were meant to be doing. You struggled through, and you had a great time. And now you learn how to do it meta and do it well, and you download a new game and you play it for a bit and you don't enjoy it for the first hour, and then you just quit. You need to just struggle through for a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's a real shame. It's a real shame. What do you guys think of the chat? Do you guys think that the majority of MMOs use crafting to justify having a player-driven economy? I think that phrase, player-driven economy, has been absolutely driven into the ground, because almost every MMO will have... any game with trading will have a player-driven economy. I mean, what would it look like if it wasn't a player-driven economy? Only shops in the game. Yeah. It's really dumb. It is. Have I ever played Ark? No, not yet. Not yet. It is on the list. But
I'll
RuneScape
play Ark with you. I want to give that a go too.
Oh, that's Lost Ark, isn't it? The new Korean one. That.
Oh, you want to?
Because there's Lost Ark that Amazon Game's doing, and there's Ark, which was the old kind of dinosaur survival style game.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. I've played Ark.
Yeah. You stop liking a game a day or two after the game's wiki. I'll tell you what, if you really want to hate a game, read the wiki or join the subreddit. That is the fastest way to hate a game. People always get angry at me whenever they log onto my streams and I'm playing an MMO inefficiently, and they tell me I'm playing it inefficiently.
Oh God, yeah.
And I know. I do it on purpose, because I know the moment I start trying to play efficiently is the moment my experience goes from enjoy the game to beat the system.
Yeah.
And once I try to beat the system... I mean, was it the guy that invented the Civilization games, like SimCity and stuff, SimCity and Sim whatever? He said, given the opportunity, players will optimize the fun out of a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. Absolutely true. Have you seen that the Halo Infinite subreddit's been shut down because of how toxic it got?
I saw that it had been shut down. You probably know more about it than me, so tell me what went on with that.
Apparently, it was just insanely toxic. People like lashing out and death threats to the 343 developers.
Oh, God.
Because, I mean, the recent one, okay, this did probably push it over the edge. So you can buy things in the store that are like little attachments for your armor, completely visual, but you can't unlock them. You have to buy them.
Okay.
And the most recent one is, so there's grenades that you can have attached to your chest, like 2 grenades. They don't do anything, just visual.
Yeah, just like your military
setup
would have. Because you throw grenades in the game, yeah.
Exactly. You can unlock those. Looks fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
They sold a version of that which was reskinned to be pineapple grenades. Literally grenades painted as pineapples.
Okay.
And they were 1,000 coins, which I think in Halo is about £7.90 or something.
Because pineapple grenades was an old slang term for the fragmentation grenades used kind of World War II onwards.
And it was the frag grenades grenades that they'd painted. So it's funny.
Yeah.
But then everyone's just like, you've just sold a reskinned grenade for $7.99.
That's called setting a precedent. Once you show that you're willing to do it, it's horse armor. It's Halo's version of horse armor. They are willing to sell you a reskinned, model. Mm-hmm. When are they going to stop?
I mean, my favorite thing that I've seen that they sold was something that I thought was a meme, and then I realized yesterday in game, oh my God, it's real.
Yeah.
They have got a skin for the assault rifle, which is a Nerf gun. Like a literal Nerf gun that you get when you buy a Halo branded Nerf gun.
Oh, because they sell them, don't they? I've seen that, and they look, to be fair, they look kind of cool, the actual Halo Nerf guns, because you've got the assault rifle and you've got the Needler from the Covenant, haven't you, or the Flood.
But the one that you get in Halo is the original Nerf gun, so neon green, blue, bright yellow.
Right, gotcha. Nerf colours, okay.
And I killed someone in game the other day and saw it drop on the floor. And they've got these things that you can add onto your weapons called charms. So you can have like a dog tag or something just hanging off the side of the weapon.
Little thing.
They've got like a little Nerf bullet hanging on there. And I killed him. I saw it on the floor. I was like, oh my God, it's real. It's real.
Could you pick it up and have it for yours? Cause
yeah, you can pick it up and run with it.
I used to love how in Call of Duty, if you killed someone who had a custom skin, you could then pick up their gun and use that until they killed you again.
Be a disadvantage though in Halo, and there's something that people haven't mentioned. I've not seen them mention. There's a skin that's like gold, like it makes it look gold plated, but the light actually reflects off of it. So if you're around the corner, people can see a little reflection off your gun. So if you pick up someone's ammo or pick up their weapon, you don't realize that people can see you reflecting in glass and stuff in the game.
But it's there. You know what? I saw a picture on Reddit a couple of days ago that I really identified with, and it was a little meme, and it was any first-person shooter Season 1. And the picture next to it was 4 actual military dudes in proper military gear, proper camo, proper weapons, proper everything. And then underneath it was same game, Season 5. And there was someone dressed up as a clown, and someone wearing a horse mask.
Bin bag on their head.
Yeah, someone's a bin bag. Someone else was wearing a bikini, and the gun was a tennis racket or whatever. And it is that. It is every single first-person shooter starts off billing itself as this really serious, really proper adults, proper mature experience. And then once everyone's into it, they're like, hey, we're going to release some wacky shit. And they do. And it means that anyone that joins the game then thinks it's dumb. I mean, someone just put in chat, PUBG looks like a Tim Burton movie. It does.
It does.
It's absolutely insane. You go to every single first-person shooter slowly becomes Team Fortress 2. When Team Fortress 2 did it well, because that was the whole point. It was meant to be dumb.
Silly and fun,
And now you look at, Call of Duty's done it. Medal of Honor did it. It's stupid and dumb, and it's silly, it's fun. And I've said this before. What I think they're doing is, when you release a product to the public, you as a company and you as a product slowly build up trust. You build up trust, you build up respect, you build up care and compassion, and this is a currency. The trust that the audience have with any project or product is a currency. And when you sell crap cosmetics that completely break the immersion, what you're doing is you're cashing in that trust currency for actual money. But the trust goes down way quicker than the money comes in, and the trust does not get built back up.
No, you're spot on.
I think the same thing happened when RuneScape started selling cosmetics that could just cover over any weapons and any items. And think of any MMORPG. Think of any MMORPG. The moment it starts selling immersion-breaking cosmetics is the moment I think it starts to go downhill. Once your immersion is less important than making a quick buck, that's when I'm thinking. Because when I was researching this New World video, did you see the Rainbow Lion?
No.
In the New World Alpha...
Let me Google this.
New World Rainbow Lion. New World Alpha, before it was open to the public, you could buy a house and you could have a pet sitting out the front of your house.
Christ.
Yeah, that was in the game. That is the Rainbow Lion. And you can have that in your house and everyone can see it. Does that look to you like a New World aesthetic?
No, no.
Imagine a 3D lion.
I'm going to put that in my chat.
Do it. A 3D lion with a load of rainbow stuff on it. That's pretty much what it is. You can Google it now. It's absolutely awful.
That's horrendous. That looks like World of Warcraft Spectral Tiger times 10.
Yeah. But now here's what I've discovered when I was doing the New World research. Have you seen their latest stance on mini-maps?
Right. It was something to do because they don't have a proper mini-map, do they?
There's no mini-map in New World. Not by standard, anyway.
The data... So let me see if I'm understanding this correct. The problem is the data for the mini-map is there, suggesting that they did have one.
Yep. It's totally possible to make
the mini-map's not there.
They don't.
However, there are third-party add-ons that are completely undetectable.
Yep.
That reintroduce the mini-map because all the data to show stuff to a mini-map is already there.
Correct.
And they basically went, because they can't do anything about it.
Kind of. New World doesn't have a mini-map because they don't want it to ruin the immersion. That's their reason. They think if there's a minimap, players will spend more time looking at the minimap than they will playing the game. They don't want players to be able to find resource locations easily. They don't want players to be able to find item spawn locations or enemy spawn locations. No minimap in the game. And there is a download or an add-on that puts a minimap up on your screen that shows you exactly where all of the gathering and crafting locations are. And they've gone on record and said, if we discover you're using this, we can ban you. Because they want to keep the immersion. Players have, however, discovered a way around it. There is a player-made or a community-ran website that just lists everything. Yes. And if you have it on your second monitor while you play, it's updated live with all the locations of all the resources, all the enemy spawns, all the item spawns, all the quest hands-ins, all the fastest things. So if you want to be a competitive crafter, you literally just have a huge map on your second monitor that you just then refer to. So in order to keep players immersed in the game, they have kept a minimap out, which has resulted in even more immersion being broken because you now need to look at the second monitor and then back to the game. And this is the same company who were okay with the Rainbow Lion. So that doesn't break immersion, but the minimap does.
I don't even...
Isn't it weird?
I don't think the company's even coherent.
No.
They don't know what they want.
See, some people will say, hey, I agree that the minimap breaks immersion and stuff, but they're making an MMORPG. They want to appeal to as many people as they possibly can. And they probably interviewed a load of people and said, hey, does the minimap break immersion? And a lot of people probably said, yes, it breaks immersion. A lot more people use the minimap.
Yeah.
Like a lot more people. Like it's a...
Hence why everyone's cheating a minimap.
Yeah, it is a... Why do you think if New World actually... Think about it this way. If New World actually allowed add-ons and there was like an add-on website, what do you think the top add-on would be? Because in World of Warcraft, it was like, weak auras and something else.
DPS count, a recount.
Yeah, that's what it was. And if it was on New World, you'd have a DPS meter, you'd have a mini-map, you'd have a resource location generator, you would have an auction house add-on straight away. All of these player add-ons that people obviously want could just be in the game. Like, you could just put them in the game. You could find a way to make it work.
World of Warcraft's having this issue currently, and it's a big issue they've been having for years, and it's just got bigger and bigger.
It's the level of design, isn't it? Because you need to design for both with and without.
Exactly. So those who don't know about this, basically, to be able to optimize anything about your character, you need to know how much DPS you're doing. To see the DPS you're doing, you need a third-party add-on.
Yeah.
And with other third-party add-ons, which are allowed, you can also have highlights on the floor showing where something's about to land, like an AoE attack or something like that. So you've now got two parts of the community, one that's happy playing without add-ons and one that's happy playing with. But they both do high-end content. Now, if you design a boss fight to be challenging for the people who do use the add-ons, it's near impossible for the ones that don't.
Yeah.
And if you make it possible for the ones that don't,
it's too easy.
It's incredibly easy.
Yeah. Do you design a challenge working around the idea that players have no additional information and will only have what you give them? Or do you design a challenge around the idea that players will have all possible information and so you need to overwhelm them so the information they're getting may not be enough?
Yeah, and this is a failing of WoW because what they should have done is paid the authors of these add-ons to just add them to the game. A DPS meter, sure, it's not very immersive, but it should be there as an option in settings. You just turn it on.
People in the chat, someone has said that they wanted a game with no minimap. I understand that. People want a game with no minimap, but here's the important question. Do you want a game with no minimap, or do you want other people to play a game that has no minimap? Because if you want a game with no minimap, and the minimap was an optional turn-on in New World, you could play the game with no minimap. You just have to accept that other people might play it with. If you say you want a game with no minimap, you also have to accept the fact that other people will use a third-party add-on to give themselves a minimap, or they will just use a second website and a second monitor as a minimap. Saying that you want a game that doesn't have something doesn't in any way prevent other people actually getting that thing. So it's more like you want an experience that doesn't have X, but this only applies if no one has X.
Yeah.
Optional. That's the question we need to go with. It's very strange because people will find a way to do it. People will absolutely find a way to do it. Playing Elder Scrolls Online without quest markers. Some people said, I love the fact Elder Scrolls has no quest markers. Other people said, I want quest markers, and they went to go and download an add-on that adds quest markers into the game. The quest markers are now in the game, just through one step to it. It's a, could we get a food analogy? Or maybe a traffic one? Yeah, sure, I'll give you a food analogy on this. Imagine you ordered a full Sunday dinner, and it all arrived in little individual bowls, and you had your bowl of roast potatoes and a little gravy boat next to you. And you don't want gravy. Just don't use the gravy boat. You don't have to go to the restaurant and say, I only want to go to a restaurant where no one gets served gravy at all. It's important to me that no one has any gravy. And you went, okay, maybe you could just... And there's a gravy shop next door, so people that want gravy just go and get it anyway. You're not actually making the game necessarily better by demanding something not be there if players can just put it there through a third party anyway. That's a shame.
Josh, I watched a 5-minute video the other day of you talking about Weetabix.
Don't eat Weetabix wrong, Cal.
I don't. I agree with your method. I agree with your method, but the fact that you spoke about Weetabix on stream for 5 minutes was quite alarming. Cal, I thought I needed to check up on you.
I have increased my streaming time to 4 hours, 21 minutes and 9 seconds. And I'll tell you why. It's because when I look at the time codes afterwards, it says 4:20:69, and this makes me laugh. So I've decided that all streams from now on are 4 hours, 21 minutes and 9 seconds. And that will continue when we do the Dragon Age playthrough, the Dragon Age Origins playthrough, which is very fun and carrying on. Unfortunately, it does mean I need to fill 4 hours and 20 minutes with absolute bollocks. So when I go off onto a tangent about Weetabix, I'm thinking in my mind, I've got to be as detailed as I can.
It works.
It does. It really. In fact, the clip channel is doing really well. I'm scared the clip channel is going to overtake.
It might do.
People have watched the clip channel who don't even know who I am. Like, I've had people going, oh my god, this guy's hilarious. And I'm like, I've got a main channel and a second channel and I do Twitch. And they're like, oh, I thought you were just some random clip guy.
Just some random clip guy.
Yeah. But no, that's
what I aim to be.
The clip channel dude is in the chat now. Viz, he's a good lad. He's a really good lad. He's working super hard with that. The amount of effort he's putting into clipping everything is really good. I like him. I'll be honest, I went out to buy Weetabix after your rant. I should have been sponsored. I should have been sponsored.
We should be sponsored by a lot of things.
Who should we be sponsored by, Cal? I mean, I should probably have been sponsored by Bailey's before I went out to go and buy all the Baileys, or the knockoff Marks and Spencer's Baileys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Marks and Spencer sponsorship? This is not just a Twitch sponsorship.
I knew this was coming.
Is an M&S sponsorship. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean that'd be a good one. Who could I be sponsored by? Chat, give me some suggestions. RuneScape. Oh yeah, I mean
RuneScape definitely.
That's a good one. 100%. People in my chat are saying they can't stop watching the Earth 2 Discord burn right now.
Oh, there's stuff going on.
No. I've noticed I've got 6 mentions in the Earth 2 Discord, and I'm scared to even look.
Once we finish this, I want to jump in and have a look at what's going on, because you know what, I've got it on my phone as well.
Yeah,
we can't do it. We can't do it on the stream right now. So if we do it on the stream, it changes what's showing on the actual cameras. But we're in the Earth 2 Discord on our phones.
All these mentions are in general chat as well, so it's definitely aimed at me.
Join us with this.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I see.
Let's search Callum.
Can you imagine if we were all in the pub right now? It would be like England winning the World Cup. Apparently, there's Polygon Studios tweeted about us. Interesting. There's a tweet from Polygon. I'm going to search them. Hang on, Polygon Studios. Let's see what
someone says
these guys are up to. No, I'm not seeing too much from Polygon Studios. It's a bit of a shame. I do want to know. Polygon Studio. There we go. Okay. That definitely can't be the guys, because they just make... Yeah, they...
Oh, yeah, I've got the article open, actually. Someone did send me this just, so
oh, sweet,
I'll have a read through.
What are they talking about?
So, let's have a look. Earth 2 announces decentralization plans and partnerships with Polygon Studios.
Okay, what do Polygon Studios do?
Couldn't tell you, but I'm sure we're about to find out.
Gotcha.
Provides on-chain, non-custodial ownership and transaction capability for Earth 2 users.
Oh, so it's a blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Offers the option to move assets and transactions onto the public Ethereum mainnet.
So it's an Ethereum-based blockchain thing.
Yeah. Which is completely dumb, by the way, considering gas fees for Ethereum right now.
Mm-hmm.
Earth 2 and Polygon Studios will collaborate to enhance blockchain gaming and scale metaverse platform. Earth 2, the metaverse platform and virtual twin of our real world.
Virtual twin of the real world.
Oh, but this is written by Earth 2, by the way. This is their own article on themselves.
They wrote
basically
an article
saying that
on
you
themselves.
can move your assets around now, which is... Like, why?
Okay, so what we're going to have to do is just have a look into Earth 2, see what the hell is going on, and do a major recap. I think we need to do a major you need to do a major recap on it to bring people up to speed, because so much, a timeline of Earth 2. That's what I want, Cal. Mm-hmm. I think you could do it as well. Actually,
here's the thing, right? About Polygon. So Polygon, I've realised that this just went way over my head. I actually own some Polygon because it's a transaction fee free. It's like a level 2 solution for blockchain.
Okay.
But Polygon is the leading platform for Ethereum scaling and infrastructure development. Its growing suite of products offer developers easy access to all major scaling and infrastructure solutions. Layer 2 solutions, side chains, hybrid solutions, standalone and enterprise chains, data availability solutions.
It's just a lot of public, private, corporate bollocks.
Yeah, basically, it's just a free version of Ethereum.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is the network they're going to be working on, which means...
I'm looking forward to when we can actually play the game. Whatever the hell the game ends up being.
That's a long way forward to look.
Yeah, whatever the game ends up being. Once the game is done, I'll play the game. That's what will happen. When the game is made, I will happily play the game. But right now, Kira TV is doing a really good job keeping pretty much everyone updated on the state of a lot of scams right now. Kira he's working his arse off putting videos out. He is the one-stop shop if you want daily updates. Mm-hmm. On MMORPG news. Kira TV has pretty much got you covered with it. But for now, Cal, I think we need to head off.
I think we do.
It's been 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I think it's flown by, to be honest.
It has.
It's gone really fast. It's probably because I've been tipsy for most of it, but it has completely flown by. Ladies and gents in the chat, thank you very much if you have joined us. The chats and all the videos will be on YouTube in a couple of days' time. We've got the Tangent Tavern channel on YouTube. Cal, you've got your main channel. Are you doing any more of those retro recaps, or are you leaving those to the side for a bit?
I do plan on doing more, but with the way I see it is with me doing 2 videos a week, I want to make sure I put out 2 videos that are well received.
Mate, that's what it is.
While it was well received, it wasn't very highly viewed.
No, it's true.
So if that's half of the revenue, then I have to kind of consider, okay, maybe I'll squeeze a third one in for that at some point.
What you could probably do is keep doing 2 videos a week and work on the retro game when you've got free time, if you want to. It's a bit of a passion project, if you will, instead of a main focus one. But for now, ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for joining us. We've gone through Drunk Stories, we've discussed Earth 2, we've discussed New World, and next week we'll probably continue discussing Earth 2, New World, possibly some more Drunk Stories that happen this week. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could go anywhere. But no, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gents, you have a lovely evening. Cal, thank you to everyone who's joined us from your stream as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow for a Dreamworld video.